Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Bud Crawford, the 4-division world champion, 2-division undisputed, has vacated his world title WBO strap in the welterweight division. Duncan Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo Lopez, who is the WBO champion in the 140 pound division. He has the veto. He's a super WBO, so he has the veto to petition to be the mandatory to whoever's holding the 147 WBO strap, which was Terence Bud Crawford. You already know that Teofimo Lopez has been calling out Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford having vacated his world title before he was getting called out by Teofimo Lopez, but now he did. But Brian Norman Jr. is elevated, and that has been the talk of the town as well. A potential fight with Teofimo Lopez and Brian Norman Jr. And y'all already know that Brian Norman Jr. in his last outing with a spectacular performance he did have. I think that would be a great fight, Teofimo Lopez and Brian Norman Jr. Teofimo Lopez, the captain of the generation, the commander-in-chief, the guy that set the tone of this generation in daring to be great, has the opportunity to become a 3-division world champion. And looking at the resume and looking at his accomplishment, y'all already know that he's all about legacy. So I would like to see that fight as well if he's willing to move up right now to the 147 pound division and face Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Sr. Was in the Boxing Voice several days ago, and he has stated that Teofimo Lopez did accept the fight, and they have accepted the fight. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the dates. But there's going to be more clarification from both camps in the incoming days. Now, again, this is a great matchup. You already know that the welterweight division has been, kind of a ghost town ever since, after the fight with Earl Spence and Bud Crawford. Mario Barrios, he got elevated. He has a strap. Boots Ennis got elevated. He has a strap. And Brian Norman Jr. has a strap. But it's not like, it's not highlighted names. Marquee names in the sport of boxing. The 147 pound division, it got that, how you say, that 160 middleweight division feel like it's just a ghost town now, But with Boots Edison is one of the most exciting fighter in the sport of boxing. He's planning to stay in 147. He wants to become undisputed. And, Teofimo Lopez, he's there to be great. He also have insinuated that he's willing to fight Boots Ennis as well. Look, Terence Bud Crawford, we don't know what's going to happen next. Now, Terence Bud Crawford, you already know he had his performance versus Madrimov. There was many people out there that feel like he lost. There's many people out there that he won. There's many people out there that feel like it was a draw. The 154 pound division is a tough division, one of the most competitive, probably the most competitive division in the sport of boxing. We see a lot of these fighters, showcase their vulnerabilities in the 154, like Bud Crawford, like Virgil Ortiz this past weekend with a spectacular performance, right? Boacek, Madrimov, Tim Tszyu versus Fundura, Lubin versus Fundura, and Charlo versus Brian Castano, Tony Harrison, all these guys, Brian Mendoza, all these guys are good fighters, but in 154 it's so competitive that we see the vulnerability and we see some of the fighters overcome those vulnerabilities and weather the storm and come out with their victory. So the 154 pound division is highly competitive. Not sure about the 147. We'll see when Teofimo Lopez does move up and dare to be great once again. It's spectacular what Teofimo Lopez has done early in his career. I have no doubt that if he can't get the Terence Bud Crawford fight, because that's the fight that he does want, so he could further his legacy, Brian Norman Jr. fight, that's another legacy fight for Teofimo Lopez. And to be honest, I think in my opinion, is better than a unification bout with Teo and Rayo. Is a better, Brian Norman Jr. and Teofimo Lopez is a better fight for Teo than Teo versus Paru, Teo versus Puello, in my opinion. And it's easy to be made because he in top rank. So I think that it is opportunity. Either he would have faced Bud Crawford and put himself in position for the mandatory challenger for the belt, or Brian Norman Jr. because Brian Norman Jr. is coming off a great victory, one of the best performances of the year thus far. Teofimo Lopez already been in the ring twice, so he's active, he's in the gym, he's in shape. This is the most active that he's been in a long time, right? And he's due. Imagine if they do fight. I believe maybe they could get this fight done maybe by September. If they could get this fight by September, I know it's already August, so maybe late September, maybe November. I was thinking that he probably could squeeze 4 fights, but I think he's highly prepared. He 2 training camps versus the likes of Jermaine Ortiz and Steve Claggett. You know that Brian Norman Jr., he's a pressure fighter as well. I think that was a good tune-up fight for Teofimo Lopez to prepare for Brian Norman Jr. Let me know what you think about the matchup. Let me know what you think about the possibility. And let me know what you think Bud Crawford going to be doing. You know, he's certified not coming back in the 147-pound division. A Virgil and Bud fight, I think there'll be a good fight as well. There's a lot of fights out there in 154. I'm still interested in Teofimo Lopez, Darren the Green fighting Bud Crawford as well. But if the fight ain't there and Turkey Alashiki and Bob Arum are top ranked, now I wanted to put the fight right now because it seems like Bud Crawford don't want Teofimo Lopez since he vacated the world title. It would have been a good money fight because I think that's what Bud Crawford is looking for. But Bud versus Virgil probably going to be the next fight. I think they pushing that fight. And for Teo, maybe the most realistic fight will be Brian Norman Jr. I think by the end of the year, I think it'll still be a great fight. I think 2025 is going to end with a bang. And you're going to see Teofimo Lopez. I got Teofimo Lopez edging the fight with Brian Norman Jr. We're going to see how comfortable Teofimo Lopez is going to be at 147. People want to speculate that if his power is going to carry over there. We're going to see. Y'all already know when Teofimo Lopez, when the brights is on, he shows up. Let me know what y'all think. Subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Love you. God bless. And on to the next.